Hello, folks. This is Carl Freund again with Cambrian-AI Research. And today I'm very happy to have Rahul Patel of Qualcomm joining us. Welcome, Rahul.
Good morning, Carl. How are you doing?
Doing well.
Happy to be here on this discussion with you.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting discussion. You guys have launched some amazing results once again on inference processing on the Qualcomm Cloud AI 100. Folks, so Rahul's kind of a bigwig at Qualcomm. He's Senior Vice President and General Manager of Cloud Connectivity and Networking, which includes, among many other things, the Cloud AI 100, which is just blowing the doors off the MLPerf benchmarks in terms of both performance and in terms of power efficiency. Why don't we start at a high level, Rahul? Why don't you talk about what you see as the key industry trends shaping the business that Cloud AI is going after?
Yeah, Carl, I think it's a very important question. What is happening is edge computing is taking prominence, basically. And as a result, inference at the edge to enable various scenarios for generating data and capabilities that would be latency, benefiting applications is going to be key. It combines secure on-device AI capabilities with powerful cloud edge computing for AI, right? And these things, along with the throws of the speeds and feeds that you get with 5G and connecting to the LAN with, say, Wi-Fi 7 type capabilities, is driving the need for AI inference at the edge. And this is the power of AI distributed across multiple new device capabilities and platform capabilities across the edge computing platforms. And so that's the big trend that we are in the midst of.
Yeah, it's exciting. People have been talking about IoT for years, and without intelligence at the edge, I think we've found it all fairly boring. But now that we can have connected intelligence across the network and at the edge, and really surprisingly powerful solutions are coming to market. So in that environment, why is performance per watt so important? Why not just throw as much hardware at it to get maximum performance and minimum latency?
Yeah, I think it's an excellent question. Again, I think what's happening is you have to meet a certain performance bar, number one. Number two, you have to be mindful of the total cost of ownership, what's known as TCO for the hyperscalers. As the volume on hyperscalers, server platforms continue to rise very rapidly, the cost equation comes to play in a big way, because as more and more activities take place in the cloud, the affordability is going to be key. And so performance per watt is an important matrix that effectively drives the TCO capability that is demanded by the hyperscalers. And I'll just expand a little bit more on that. When you look at the TCO, the total cost of ownership, there's multiple things in it, basically. One is the operational expenses, what is known as OpEx. The cooling expenses of the platforms and the server farms basically is a huge expense. And how do you going to bring it down? Is by having power envelopes and total thermal dissipated power be at affordable ranges. Number one. Number two, you deploy these massive server capabilities, you have to have the cooling capability embedded around that platform. And so now you have a CapEx expense. You have a capital expenditure where you now have to have cooling systems being deployed if you don't have power efficient, AI capability. In all of this, the world is getting very conscious about ESG, right? And so if you are energy efficient and sound, I think the world cares a lot more about you. And so for many reasons, performance per watt is extremely valuable to the hyperscalers and everybody that's developing server farms and data centers.
Yeah, I mean, you can certainly imagine the stress the data center providers in the Bay Area are experiencing as the heat wave of the summer causes brownouts and potential power outages. So how does your results are stunning and have been since you first submitted for the Qualcomm Cloud AI 100 for the MLPerf benchmarks and power measurements. So how do you do it? What's the magic of the Qualcomm platform?
Yeah, I think that's a fair question. Why is Qualcomm so good in AI inference at the edge and the cloud is probably the underlying question in many minds. And what is probably not equated very well is the fact that Qualcomm engineering lives to deliver battery efficient capabilities from computing dimensions point of view, right? I think what is also not known is we have had over a decade of AI intellectual property development and deployment across multiple platforms. Like you indicated, right? There are a lot of IoT cameras out there that use Qualcomm capabilities of AI. There's a lot of robotics platforms out there that use Qualcomm AI capabilities, and these all have certain, you know, uh, battery constraints, right? Battery life constraints, and so you have to develop these compute capabilities that fit those environments. And above all, we are a mobile platforms company, and so almost all of our mobile platforms in the last decade have had some or other and growing AI capabilities in them. And so that is the pedigree of this engineering capability that we have in the company. And it is, as a result, very easy for us to think performance per watt as a big matrix that we have to hit in everything that we do. And so combining all of this with our extremely low power wireless communications capabilities when 5G, when Wi-Fi 6, Wi-Fi 6E7, all of this, along with our Snapdragon platforms, I think helps us differentiate in this space dramatically, right? That otherwise, somebody would not come to understand. So extending some of these capabilities to edge platforms and cloud for AI inference was a no-brainer for us, because we could see how we could differentiate dramatically and also meet the needs of the marketplace as we see right now with the importance of TCO and performance per watt.
Yeah, I think it's a natural evolution from your the Snapdragon AI engine to go into the cloud, and anxious to see how that evolves over time as you're able to run more models. Today you focus at least on MLPerf, on the image processing, where you do a great job, and on BERT, where you do a good job. And I'm anxious to see how potentially future products or software enhancements can enable additional models, because it's becoming a very multi-model world for more complex AI. But interesting to me, and I've mentioned this in my blog on Forbes covering your announcement on MLPerf, you don't sacrifice performance to get there. Many startups in the edge AI world, they're kind of riding down the frequency curve to find that point where they can provide what they believe is adequate performance and latency while delivering the lowest possible power and sacrificing a lot of performance. But you don't sacrifice performance. Can you talk a little about your overall results on the MLPerf results?
I think thanks for picking that up. I think it's a huge differentiation from a Qualcomm point of view versus what everybody's trying to do out there in the field. Before I say anything, I would want to kind of congratulate my entire engineering organization, all my teammates in the business side for doing a phenomenal job of delivering what they delivered with the MLPerf results on this round. I may sound a little cocky, but it didn't come as a surprise to me, right? That we could get there. I think I don't want to sound. I may sound overconfident, but that is not the intent. I think with all humility, I think the team did a phenomenal job. We submitted over 200 submissions in MLPerf thus far, and this is not only just Qualcomm but also our partners, demonstrating what they are able to achieve through some of the capabilities that we have delivered on their platforms. Right. This is our first MLPerf submission on the new Cloud AI 100 half height, half length card with which delivers 350 TOPS, right? And we achieved the highest ResNet 50 offline and server performance. Again, this is a phenomenal benchmark to kind of get to the top of, right? And so really, proud of the team, really, strong delivery on this round by our team. And I would not be surprised if there's more to come as we move along. And so, this is, like I said earlier, this is how we think at Qualcomm and how we differentiate versus everybody else in the field.
Yeah, I was also impressed with the ecosystem you've been able to build, which of course is indicative of customer demand, right? I mean, Dell and HP, Lenovo, they don't run off and certify a card. It costs a lot of money. I used to work there. It costs a lot of money to certify a new card. So they're seeing demand. Can you talk a little bit about your ecosystem, the partners that were able to do submissions for this round of MLPerf?
Yeah, absolutely. I think on this MLPerf 2.1, we expanded our results on Cloud AI 100 to over 200 submissions. And with new partner submissions, like you alluded to, from Dell, HP, Lenovo, Inventec, and Thundercom. Some of the newly introduced platforms include HPE's ProLiant E920D, Dell's PowerEdge 7515, and Lenovo's ThinkSystems SE350. For the first time, our PCIe half height, half length, the standard card with 350 tops, accelerator-based submissions were made in addition to the Pro capability that we have, which is 400 tops, basically, in terms of AI acceleration, right? And so really, the ecosystem has expanded beyond other partners that we have, like Gigabyte, Foxconn, and many others, and really proud of how we have grown in a short period with our partners.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the OEMs initially picking up on their edge products, not their data center products. I'm sure there'll be some interest in the data center products in addition to what you've already achieved there. But that tells me, again, there's customers out there banging on the door and saying, I've got to reduce my power envelope, and I still want to bring AI to the factory floor or to the hospital to be able to provide better services, better manufacturing capabilities.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer, right? I think if you get your performance at the same time, if you get to hit your hit benefits on CapEx, OpEx, and also the ESG initiatives that as an enterprise you may want to undertake, right? It's a no-brainer, right? Some of these things that we are bringing to the forefront.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been working with your team on a TCO analysis for large-scale data centers, as you know, and I'm hoping we can get that published pretty soon because the numbers are just jaw-dropping. It's like, whoa, you can save that many tens of millions of dollars if you deploy this platform. So it's nice to see technology achieve these kind of things. It's really important for businesses to be able to turn that into better business results for themselves as a company and for their customers. Any additional thoughts on the markets you're going after with Cloud AI 100? And in particular, if I could tease you a little bit about what future markets you might be looking to address with this platform or future generations for this platform.
Yeah, I think there's a few things I would like to also mention. I think recently we announced with HP the Edgeline systems. Really proud of the collaboration and the partnership that HP extended to us, and HP is now publicly talking about them. They've announced that platform. It's the Edgeline systems with our Qualcomm AI 100 accelerator on that platform. It is used for AI inference workloads to ensure customers can achieve insights very quickly when the data is being processed at the edge, right? And so really proud of that. And then in the edge appliance market, we have some of the very important customers that we have already deployed with for computer vision applications, right? And so it's, you can see we are getting somewhere in computer vision as well. The Gloria high-end, platform with 200 tops from Foxconn and Thundercom EV6 and Inventec Hamendel, each with 70 tops. I think these are platforms that are delivering interesting capabilities with computer vision, AI inference, and so with AI 100. So really, you can see where we are going with, interesting application and expansion. And I encourage, to stay tuned, with, what we're going to do more and look for all the MLPerf results and results that that we have tested against various benchmarks outside of MLPerf. They're all available on Qualcomm.com. We are very open about it. wanting to share those results, and they're, they talk for themselves basically where we are with the AI 100 and our capabilities. And
Yeah,
in
I think.
future, sorry, you asked about the future.
No, please. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the future as well. Look, I think with everything Qualcomm does, the future is going to be even brighter, right? With our products, and so there's no two ways about it. And right now, I think we are doing extremely well with the AI 100. We are in a mode of doing more with the AI 100 in our customer base, but that doesn't hold us back from kind of creating better products in the future as well.
I can't wait to see what's next. It should be very exciting. And I agree. The accomplishments you made here are, I think, they're natural for Qualcomm, given your heritage. I also work with your R&D team to promote some of the things that they've been coming up with for all kinds of 3D location and visualization and perception. It's pretty amazing stuff coming down the pike as well. So I look forward to seeing those sorts of things productized. Well, Rahul, I appreciate your time today. This has been helpful to me and hopefully my audience to understand what Qualcomm is doing in the AI space outside of the great handsets that you enable with the Snapdragon platform. So thank you very much, Rahul. Look forward to talking with you again soon. Let's do this again. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Carl, for your time. It was a good discussion, and I look forward to doing more of these in future with you. Thank you. I'll take you up on that. Okay, great. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Have a good day. Bye-bye.